This case began when police uncovered a disturbing truth behind one of YouTube's most popular family channels. 7 adopted children were allegedly being starved, threatened, and locked in a punishment room inside their own home.
Won't let me have dinner. And the police tore me, and I want to let me dinner. And she starved me 4 days before.
4 days? You haven't eaten in 4 days.
No, before.
Okay.
And that wasn't the only time officers would discover something horrifying. In another case, officers found toddlers locked alone in a filthy house crawling with cockroaches. Or the case of an 11-year-old autistic boy who was discovered living inside a metal cage built directly into his family's living room.
If you like the gate open? Yeah.
And unfortunately, there are many more cases like this. So let's start with the moment the police uncovered what was really happening inside a seemingly perfect YouTube family home.
I want to have a better family.
You want to have a better family? I'm sorry.
At first glance, this looked like the perfect family channel. Millions of views, hundreds of thousands of subscribers, 7 smiling, adopted children acting out fun, colorful skits for YouTube. But behind that cheerful online image was something much darker. Because according to the children themselves, the woman the internet saw as a loving mother was actually starving them, isolating them, threatening them, and turning their home into a house of horrors. It all started on March 13, 2019, in Arizona. Megan, one of the family's biological children, finally decided to speak to police about what had really been happening inside the home. Megan and Jordan were Michelle's biological daughters, while Michelle had gone on to adopt 7 more children. One of those children recorded a video for Megan, and what was said in that video shocked her so deeply that she decided to call the police. Watch.
And when was this video taken?
Today.
Today. Okay.
Where she locks me in a room with only underwear and tank top. Doesn't give me a blanket. What kind of room is it? A closet, and it's a tile floor. No carpet, just an empty green room. How many other people sleep in there? 3.
And that room is in your house, in the house.
It's in my mom's bedroom, like a sleep bathroom. She got all the carpet ripped out and put in tile for it.
Is there a lock on the closet?
She doesn't let us eat for at least 2 days straight, or maybe more. No food and no water? No food, no water. Do you get to go to the bathroom whenever you need? No. Once I had to pee and she locked me in that room because I did something and I peed myself because she didn't let me go. Does she like that to everyone? Yes. That's why she gives everyone pull-ups, because she knows that they're gonna pee.
The officers had already heard enough. They decided to go to the house for a welfare check, not yet knowing this would become one of the most horrifying cases they had ever seen.
Hi,
How's it going?
Donnie. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
My name's Officer Bernice. I'm with the Maricopa Police Department.
Okay.
We need to do a welfare check in this house.
Oh, okay. Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Where is your mother at?
She's upstairs. You wanna go get her?
Yeah, I can go up there and get her.
Okay. Mom. Mom. She's up there.
Okay, can I go up there with you?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Stand up. Sorry.
You're fine.
What? It's a police department.
Why?
Hi,
Can I help you?
I'm Donnie.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to turn off the light on you. What's going
You
on?
mind if I talk to you?
Yeah.
You want to take the kids downstairs?
Yeah. Oh, come on, guys.
Okay. Have a seat.
I need you to go downstairs. Is there any other kids up here?
Yeah,
Come
go
on.
downstairs.
Okay.
Come on. Yeah.
Yeah, hi. Have a seat. Or whatever you want to do.
All right, here's what's going on.
Okay.
Like I told you, my name's Donnie. All right? To be quite frank with you, we received a report of child neglect. All right? So that's why we're here. Okay?
From who?
Right now, that's irrelevant.
Okay.
Okay?
What-
So
what's
this is what's
going
going to
on?
happen, okay?
Just tell me what's going on.
We need to interview all of your kids separately. Okay?
Okay.
And we need to conduct a search of the residence. Now we could do these two ways, okay? Legally, you're entitled to
Can
your.
we come back here? Because I don't see a warrant or anything,
Yeah,
so I don't know.
you're fine. We're making sure there's nobody else in the house, okay? Constitutionally, you have your rights. One of the ways that we are entitled to do this is with your consent, okay? So it means you give me your consent to go through your house and look for any evidence that might be possibly used against you, okay? The other way is that we get a search warrant and then we go through the residence with the search warrant, okay? So those are the two options, okay? I would like to speak to the kids freely with your consent. You're not going to be there when this is going on. But again, you also have the right to say, no, you're not going to interview my kids, okay? But right now we are doing a welfare check on the children. We're going to talk to them, make sure they're okay. There's no bruises, anything like that, okay? So what do you think about this?
I think we're in the middle of a packing scenario, and my house is trashed because we've dug stuff out of everywhere, and
Yeah.
I don't approve of you really going through my residence at this particular point in time.
Okay.
So, however, yeah, I really approve of that. You could talk to my children. I mean, my children are all safe and
Okay.
I want to know what the report thing was prior to this.
The mother did not react like someone horrified by a false accusation. She reacted like someone worried about losing control of the situation. Police made it clear that all of the children needed to be interviewed separately, away from Michelle. And that was critical, because in cases like this, children often stay silent out of fear. The moment a parent can no longer control the room is often the first moment the truth can actually come out. And that is exactly what happened.
I'm here to help, okay? I want to make sure nothing happens to you or your brothers or your sisters, okay? Okay? Do you understand what that means? Okay, what do you think it means?
It means you help people. Like if there's anybody bad, you come and save us from them.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, you're fine, baby. You're fine. You want to sit up? You don't have to cry. You're fine. Here we go. Here. Sit down on this bench. Huh? There we go. Sit down on the bench. All right. Why are you crying? Why are you crying?
I'm gonna have a better family.
You want to have a better family? I'm sorry.
I know it's really hard to leave my mom, but
Yeah. Take some deep breaths, okay?
you know that spray that you use when there's like bad people and stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
Pepper
Yeah.
spray?
Pepper spray? Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, baby.
Empty two of those bottles on me.
Okay.
Then came one of the most heartbreaking lines in the entire case. One of the girls, through tears, told the officer that she wanted a better family. That single sentence says more than anything else ever could. Children are naturally wired to love and defend their parents. So when a child says they want a different family, you know the pain they're living with must be unbearable. And while the allegations against Michelle were growing more disturbing by the minute, yet even then, she seemed more concerned with finding out who had reported her than with what the children were actually saying.
She's the little blonde one down there. She, as soon as my son said, the police are here and they're coming up the stairs, she starts crying and she goes, I know who it is, I know who it is. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Mm-hmm. And she goes, it's Jordan, which is one of my adult daughters.
Okay.
And she has a very big vengeance against me right now. So I cut her off. She did try to contact me and try to say, well, if I want to be a part of her life, blah, blah, blah. I had to jump through these hoops and whatnot. I basically just blocked her. I said, no, I'm fine with the way my life is. Mm-hmm. I don't need that extra stress in my life of somebody who wishes I was dead and is waiting for their inheritance. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. She's like, she literally, the last time I saw her, she's like, I'm just waiting for the life insurance.
Whatever the truth may have been regarding Michelle's relationship with her daughter Jordan, it doesn't change the fact that her other adult daughter, Megan, played an equally important role in finally getting police involved. Michelle didn't know that yet, though, and continued blaming Jordan.
I've been every time my brother runs away and CPS comes, he makes us lie. It's like you only say good things, not saying bad things.
Okay. I'm just listening, okay?
You guys saw the video that I was talking to the camera and my sister Megan was talking to me?
Yep.
It's all true. It's happened. My room upstairs. I want the door closed.
You want this door closed?
Yeah, because I don't want them hearing.
Okay.
I'm gonna get in trouble for doing it.
All right, well, come on in. Yeah, it's pretty tight, but hey, whatever makes you feel safe, okay?
It's hard to leave my mom, but I have to. I don't want you telling my other siblings.
I won't.
Please.
We're not going to tell them. Can I ask them if everything's okay at home? I'm not going to tell them anything you
There's
said.
something else I want to tell you guys.
Yeah, go ahead.
I haven't dinner. She won't let me have dinner. And please tore me. And I want to let me dinner. And she started me 4 days before.
4 days? You haven't eaten in 4 days.
No, before.
As the interviews continued, one of the children revealed that she had been denied dinner for 4 straight days. 4 days. And maybe the most disturbing part was how casually she said it, as if it had become normal. That's when you realize just how deeply broken the environment inside that house really was. These children weren't just being punished. They were being conditioned to believe that cruelty was normal.
Is there anything in here that you want to eat right now while we're waiting? Seriously, anything. Look, you got some chips. You got... No. Now listen, don't worry about that.
She's gonna smell my breath.
No, she's not. No, she's not. You are not going to talk to Mom right now. Okay? Grab a bag of chips. Go ahead, grab a bag of chips. Perfect. Sit down, okay? Enjoy. Look at me. I want to help you.
I couldn't stand it.
I know, baby.
Threatened to kill me.
It's horrible.
Thing in my neck.
It's horrible, baby.
Literally today, she got. I woke her up from a nap. And when she woke up from her nap, she said, "You guys don't get dinner." I was like, "It wasn't me. I didn't wake you up," which it was because I wanted dinner. I was hungry. And she was like, "Well, you don't get dinner." And I started crying about it because I was hungry. Everybody's hungry. And she's like, "If you don't shut up, I'm going to take you into the bathroom and slap your mouth and make sure I cut your lip open. And I'll do it a couple more times to make sure it's nice and deep and make sure it's painful." I don't know if I still have them.
You're fine, baby.
I have bruises
fine.
all over me because of her, especially.
Okay.
I want to get out of this house.
The girl also described horrifying threats. She said Michelle threatened to kill her, to cut her lip open, and to slash her neck. And whether every single threat was carried out or not, the damage was already done. A child should never have to wonder if the person raising them might actually hurt them. That kind of fear doesn't disappear when the moment ends. It stays with you. As officers took in the cruelty and neglect these children had allegedly been living through, Michelle once again grew impatient over not being told more, acting as if nothing was truly wrong.
I'm just asking what the complaints were.
We got a call about possible child
But what type of child?
physical.
Okay, from?
So I can't tell you that because I didn't take the call, so I don't know who called. But I know based on the call that we need to speak to all the kids.
Sure.
Okay.
We're interviewing one last child, so
Yeah.
I'm just wondering where we are from here.
Right now, based on some information that we received, we are going to have contact DCS.
Okay, why?
Okay. I'm not going to release that information to you. All I can tell you is that there's going to be an investigation. So that's
I know
what.
I've ever done this spank my child. I've spanked the child. Like, what? Trying to search my brain. I don't even know. You're allowed to spank the child, right?
As long as it's used for discipline, absolutely, yep.
What else would you use it for?
Be surprised.
But it was already becoming painfully clear that Michelle's idea of discipline was nothing close to the real meaning of the word.
Sometimes. Why?
Because I've accident.
Oh, yeah. Do you have any reasons or what?
It's because I think my father's in
Oh, very good. You ran from your mom the last time you said, right?
Yeah.
Because you were afraid. What usually happens, if you remember? So tell me what's happening the last time.
I either get spankings or I don't want to say it. It's not
Say it.
I either get beat or yesterday
When you said you get beat, what do you mean by that?
like I'll get spanked or hard.
With
Just the hand.
anything else?
No, not really.
While Joseph may not have shared many details, Stacy was more than willing to describe the hell she and her siblings had been forced to live through.
Literally, she takes his armpit and twists it by her nails. Her nails are humongous. And takes it and twists it and spit in their face. She literally takes a mouthful of spit and spits it in our face. I don't know what kind of mom does this to us. And then she always tells us to lie. And I don't want to. I want to live with Megan. And then mom makes up lie. You don't get anything for 4 days straight. Because you were being horrible. No food, no water. Haven't even had water once today.
Eat these chips. Eat them. You're not in trouble. You're not in trouble for eating right now. Okay? I'm telling you to eat these chips. Okay?
I was like, cops don't even care if you're being horrible. They still feed you. And she said on the Bible, it says do not feed kids if they're bad.
It's not true.
And take baths and really beat kids. It says that on the Bible, she said.
I love you, and I don't even know you.
I love you too, because you're saving me from this hell.
I know, baby.
Then, after hours of this, Michelle suddenly remembered that the children hadn't eaten and asked if pizza could be heated up for them. And honestly, that moment says everything, because the children themselves seemed surprised that food was suddenly being offered.
Your brothers are going to heat up some pizza.
All of you. All of you.
But I think she's feeding you because she's scared that you guys are going to say you haven't.
That's why we just gave him all that stuff.
I know.
No, everybody knows he's not allowed to eat for a week. Mom was really trying to make it. She's like, you're not eating for a week. Maybe 2 weeks. Maybe 3 weeks. Maybe for a month.
Okay. I can tell how you guys are acting with the fruit snacks and with the drinks because you guys haven't. I know that. I know that. I can see it, baby.
I was gonna lie, but I couldn't. I can't handle it.
You don't need to lie. Okay? You don't need to lie.
In the meantime, even without a search warrant in hand, the officers couldn't help but notice strange and suspicious details throughout the house.
Why is the key in the door here?
Huh?
Why is the key in the door?
When we were doing foster care, we had to basically have everything locked up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like any sort of chemical, like any sort of like hardware, like a vacuum is considered like hardware. We have to have like all that locked up.
And now it's a playroom.
The playroom. Wow.
It's a playroom when we play.
Cool.
Police would soon get that warrant, and when they explained the process to Michelle, she suddenly seemed to realize what this investigation might uncover.
If they conduct a search warrant and there's nothing found to support those allegations, then that still benefits you.
I know what it is now.
And I know
I
that,
know what it is now.
and okay, but they still have to do their job.
I
So
know what it is now.
what do you mean by that?
I just think that because of what my daughter knows, I know what it is now because who knows what a disarray my house is in. I bet you anything. Just know that the only weapon I have in my house is a can of pepper spray, and I have a feeling it has to do with that because my daughter.
Okay.
I've been racking my brain all friggin' for hours right now, or forever since you guys got here.
I know.
And it's been hurting. I'm
This
like,
is
what have I done?
this is the one
What have I
frustrating
done
part
wrong?
of
And it's not surprising that Michelle immediately connected the investigation to the pepper spray, considering what Stacy had already told officers earlier that night.
Like Jordan, do you know Claudia?
Mm-hmm.
She came home from work. I haven't seen her in like 4 months. And she came home from work. It was late at night. And she was hungry. So she burnt her pizza because she fell asleep on the couch. And so mom told me to go get the pepper spray and try to pepper spray her in the face. So she ran out of the house with pepper spray on her face.
So DCS should be coming out and they should be taking custody of the kids. based on the allegations. And they'll be talking to you as well.
When police executed the search warrant, it didn't take long for them to find troubling details that appeared to back up exactly what the children had described. 2 cans of pepper spray were found in a drawer, matching Stacy's story. Officers also got a look at the infamous green room upstairs. The isolated room Stacy said she and her siblings had been locked inside for hours, if not longer.
This a green room. There's a lock on it. He makes me sleep with only underwear and a top on a tile floor. No blankets, no nothing.
All of these horrifying things finally came to an end in the early hours of March 14th, when all 7 children were removed from the home. Michelle Hobson and her 2 adult sons were arrested on multiple felony charges, including child abuse. And although Michelle would later die before she could stand trial, one prosecutor pointed out the only small mercy left in this case. The children would never have to testify against her in court. In the end, the Fantastic Adventures channel was terminated, and the image of the happy YouTube family completely fell apart. But what remains is far darker than just another internet scandal. According to the children, this was not simply a fake family brand. It was a system of fear, starvation, threats, and control, hidden behind colorful thumbnails and forced smiles. And that is what makes this case so deeply disturbing. Behind one of YouTube's biggest family channels, 7 children were allegedly living through hell.
Is that someone passed out on the ground right there?
In the middle of the night in Bunnell, Florida, a neighborhood is kept awake by the sound of children screaming. Not normal crying, but desperate screams. Eventually, the neighbors can't ignore it anymore. They call the police, fearing something is terribly wrong inside the house next door. What officers are about to discover will soon reveal one of the most disturbing cases of child neglect the community has ever seen. When officers arrive, the first thing they notice is the front yard. Trash is scattered everywhere, piled up across the property like it hasn't been touched for weeks. Even before stepping inside, something feels deeply wrong about this home. Looking through a window, officers suddenly spot 2 small children inside a room alone. No adults, no supervision, just 2 toddlers trapped inside while they scream for attention.
Where's your mommy? You want something to drink? You want some more juice?
Police. Sheriff's office.
Oh, are you guys looking for someone?
Yeah, you.
Me?
Yeah.
Eventually, the children's mother appears at the door. It's 26-year-old Christina Coe, who shares the home with her fiancé, 27-year-old Gilbert Bridewell, along with their 3 children. She seems irritated by the police presence, rather than concerned. But as officers begin asking questions, the situation becomes even more alarming.
Yeah, are you the mother of these children here?
Yeah, what's up?
They've been screaming and crying?
Yeah, they're playing. They have the windows open. That's what they do.
They're not playing, ma'am.
Right, well, he looks like he needs some juice or something. He's showing me his cup.
Yeah, I was just about to go get them.
Okay, well, we're getting complaints that they feel like there's children in distress over here.
Yeah, they're very loud and they scream a lot.
Yeah, it's called a kid.
Yeah.
How old are they?
It's almost 2 and 3. They're very.
Is anybody supervising them?
Yeah, I was just in there.
Soon after, the officers also learn that inside the home are not just 2 children, but 3. 1 toddler, 1 infant, and a newborn baby that is only 7 days old.
I was just in there getting them stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I have my other daughter in the
So there's like 10,000 choking hazards in there that they're locked in that room and nobody's in there supervising them? As they're screaming for the whole neighborhood to call us? And this apparently has not been the first time from all your neighbors calling in, saying that they hear this multiple times throughout the week. Do you have an ID with you? Can we go get it?
Hold on. Let me check your car first. I know like you did in the car.
You look like you've been asleep.
No. I actually haven't. Barely sleeping days. I've been in the hospital.
Are you the only one here?
I'm supposed to be alone with the kids right now after my surgery.
Are they both your children?
Yes.
When was the last time you even changed their diapers? As it's sagging there, probably full.
They had a ton of juice, and it was probably an hour and a half ago when I changed their diapers.
Does this seem to be a safe environment for your children?
Yeah, it is completely safe. It's just, they're very, very loud and vocal. And since both of the windows are opened,
This is a safe environment, huh?
we're still cleaning it out. Their uncles and aunt just left and they trashed the place. So
I'm not enthused so far, to be honest with you.
Is that their room?
that's their room, that's the play area.
Do they have beds to sleep on?
Yeah, they have cots in there. They fold them up when
Right.
they play.
Do they have bedding? I see cots, I don't even see bedding.
That's what the cots are. That is their bedding. I've already.
They have sheets, pillows, blankets?
Yes, they have pillows. They have blankets in there. I go in and I clean it every single day. And they take all of the toys out of the toys bin and they do that.
When was the last time you had a drink?
10 minutes ago?
The situation is extremely disturbing. First of all, the house is in complete chaos. 2 children are locked inside a bedroom with a cup, crying and begging for something to drink. The room is filled with choking hazards scattered across the floor. Objects small enough for toddlers to swallow are everywhere, and their diapers appear as if they haven't been changed for days. At this point, the officers ask to see the inside of the house. What they discover when the door opens is something they were not prepared for.
Can I see the inside of your house, please?
Still cleaning. Like, that's the thing. We've had DCF and we're still cleaning.
What's your DCF case for?
Like, I just got home from the hospital. Like, I don't even know why you're being mad.
I can tell you, looking at that diaper, it hasn't been 10 minutes. I don't even have kids. I don't need to have kids to know that. That's not urine. Do you see that? That brown? Yeah. You see all that? That's not urine. And it's full of what looks like sand. You got cockroaches running around in here.
I understand this. I've been dealing with it for the past week. I don't know what else am I supposed to do.
I don't know, maybe put up your drug paraphernalia?
I'm doing the best I can. Like, I am here alone.
The smell hits them immediately. The house is filthy beyond belief. Trash covers the floors. Insects crawl along the walls. And cockroaches scatter as officers step inside. The conditions are so disturbing that officers struggle to even stand inside the home.
Do you have food for them?
Yes.
Can I see that, please?
21.
Freezers are cookies.
Do you have child care products, diapers, etc.?
Yes. All of our child stuff right here. We have it organized in bin. Like, well, these are locked so they cannot get them in.
I'm not worried about the mice. The biggest concern I have is the cockroach infestation.
I know. It's been like that for years. And we've been it's been a lot worse. This whole entire place used to be trash. You couldn't even get into the living room. That's how bad it was.
Get it, you're an adult and you choose to do whatever, but I mean, there's...
That's my fiance.
Okay, and there's another pipe over here too, and that's like an access, so the children have access to that. You got rolling papers over here.
Yeah, that's his stuff.
This is not an acceptable environment.
I'm trying.
I know, I'm not saying you're not trying. I don't know what it was before. Alright? I know what it is now.
I know.
So I don't know how much progress you've made.
I've made a ton of progress. This whole
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go outside and talk. While we're out there, if you please change your diapers.
Not much later, Gilbert, Christina's fiance, arrives back at the house and is immediately questioned by the police.
Do you live here?
Yes, sir. I am the father.
You been working on that or what?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been living here?
I've been in here roughly 2-3 years.
2-3 years? Alright.
She's been living here with you for 2 or 3 years?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought she said just a few months. Huh.
It was on and off because my uncle had originally thrown her out, which I had to move out with her, and we moved back in once everything kind of cleared up.
Well, the reason we're here is the other children were locked in that other room. There's just a screen, duct tape in there. Neighbors heard them screaming. It seemed to us that she was sleeping. Took several minutes to answer the door. So in case of emergency, she would have never known.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you have a child camera in there.
Yeah, I completely understand that.
Does that camera record?
It does not. It only shows, what's going on at the time.
So if I walked up to that window where they're sitting out there talking to complete strangers that they don't really recognize as law enforcement, and pull that screen off and take that kid through that window, how are you going to know?
I'd see it.
You'd see it while you're at work?
Not while I'm at work, but while she's here.
Well, she's here sleeping.
I have no way to connect to it because we don't have internet. If I had internet.
But you see what I'm saying?
Both parents clearly know that the children are not being properly cared for and that they are in danger. But what seems to concern them the most isn't the children's safety. It's how they might be charged by the police and the consequences they could face.
10,000 choking hazards in that room. While she's passed out, they could stick a car in their mouth. You know how kids are, they stick everything in their mouth, swallow it, choke out on the floor while she's sleeping. He's banging on the door. That obviously is not enough to wake her up. And she glances over at the camera, sees her on the ground, thinking, oh, she's sleeping. Next thing you know, your kid's dead.
Yeah.
You see where we're getting at?
Yes, sir.
Because right now I have enough to take you all to jail.
Yes, sir.
For felonies.
I completely understand.
DCF is coming out tonight.
Okay.
They're going to inspect what we've seen, and we're going to figure out a plan from there. What we're getting at is this is an unacceptable environment, and it's neglectful to your children. And we don't know if you're going to be charged at this time. How come there's just piles of trash?
We sit it out front, but lately the cats and raccoons and get to it, and that's what happens out here.
Hold on, partner. I live with raccoons too. They don't do that, and that, and that, and that. That's not a raccoon. That might be a bear.
Both the mother and father begin making excuses, trying to explain away the situation. But it's already too late. Child Protective Services are already on their way to the scene to take the children away immediately. After questioning the parents, the officers decide to wait for Child Services and step back inside the house. Then comes one of the most shocking discoveries of the entire night.
You got cockroaches inside your fridge, man.
Yeah. I know, it's a mess.
You're gonna have to get help though sometimes because
I know, but no one wants to help me.
I understand, but you're bringing lives into this world when you can't take care of the ones that you have right now. You know what I mean?
Like, we can take care of them. It's just we're trying to take care of them.
I know, but if you were in their shoes, I don't know how your childhood was. Like, would you want roaches crawling all over you at nighttime? You wouldn't want roaches crawling all over you and all that kind of stuff, right?
You're right.
Picture this, right? You got a passy right there, and you got like the roaches. If the roach leaves like a crap or something on it, and then the baby puts it in his mouth, that baby has no immune system. Like, the baby could probably die from it. You know that, right?
We completely understand.
Inside the refrigerator, officers find cockroaches crawling among the food. The very place meant to store meals for the children is infested with insects. At that moment, it becomes painfully clear just how unsafe this home truly is. Soon, Child Protective Services arrive on scene. After seeing the conditions firsthand, the decision is immediate. The children cannot stay here another moment. One by one, they are carefully placed into car seats and taken away from the home. For the first time that night, the screaming finally stops. Their parents are placed under arrest for child neglect, while the children are removed from the environment they had been forced to endure. And although the future of the children remains unknown, one thing is certain. That night marked the moment they were finally rescued from the house of horrors they had been living in. It's a summer evening on August 13th, 2024. 35-year-old George arrives home from work. But instead of a quiet evening, he's greeted by something completely unexpected.
You okay? What's going on?
He's coming.
Who's coming?
A teenage girl from the neighborhood, Anna, is standing on his porch in tears. She's terrified. Her eyes keep darting over her shoulder, as if she's afraid someone is right behind her. George quickly opens the door and lets the crying girl inside, where his 2 young kids are playing. As he reaches for his phone to call 911, something far more disturbing suddenly unfolds.
Oh my God! Put your elbow in me. Oh, please.
Get out of my house! Get out of my house! Get out of my house! Get out!
Anna's stepfather forces his way through the back door of George's house. The very man Anna appears to be running from. Terrified, Anna bolts across the house, desperately trying to get away from him. Without hesitation, George steps between Anna and the approaching man, refusing to back down and protecting the girl inside his own home. Then, in a blur of panic and emotion, Anna suddenly runs back outside in tears. Meanwhile, Chase, George's older son, rushes to grab the phone and call the police.
I don't know, Sarah girl came running out of the house and then a guy just came running out.
And that's where the video cuts off. But based on what Anna's behavior suggests, many believe she may have been trying to escape an abusive situation at home. Police were reportedly called to the scene, and if that's true, this may have been the moment Anna was finally rescued from what could have been her own house of horrors. What happened next remains unclear, but one thing is certain. That night, a terrified child ran to a stranger's door begging for safety. And sometimes, that single moment of courage is what finally saves a life.
Do you want the gate open?
Just before noon in Henderson, Nevada, what began as a simple welfare check quickly turned into something far more disturbing. Officers were sent to the home after school. Officials became concerned that several children had not been attending school. But the moment they arrived, they heard something inside the house that instantly changed the tone of the entire case.
Jeffrey? Sorry to wake you up, bud. What time did you go to bed?
2, 3.
This morning?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not horrible. You got some sleep.
Yeah.
Even though the kids might have kept you awake some.
Yeah.
So I'm just here because they asked me to be here.
Okay.
Based on the situation, the kids haven't been in school. One of them is being homeschooled for the number of days that they haven't been in school.
Yeah.
So they got a few questions based on what they need to do as a school representative for truancy, okay?
All right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It sounds like you got some challenges here at the house. Your wife and you have different, schedules to probably try to handle the kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's great. It sounds like you're trying the hardest you can to make the situation work, right? Mm-hmm. So, but they still have a job to do based on, their policies and.
Students, yes, we're just checking because they haven't been at school. He's not in school today, and I think he hasn't been at school. They're supposed to be in Nevada Learning Academy, but they haven't been, enrolled. So we're just concerned to see. We just want to check that they're all okay.
Yeah.
So that I can bring the report back to school. What concerned me was that I heard the banging, and he said, "Let me out, open the door." He thought it was police. He's like, "Police, let me out." So, but then when I asked if he's okay, he stayed quiet. So I just wanted to assure that I can see that he's okay.
Oh yeah, he's okay.
And a kid like that, it makes sense that they would say, "Let me out."
Banging from inside the house, and a child yelling to be let out. That alone is horrifying. A child should never have to beg for freedom inside their own home. When officers finally made contact and stepped inside, they were met with one of the most disturbing sights imaginable.
Do you mind if I come in?
Yeah. He's a big kid.
I can come in?
Yes.
Okay.
He's half Samoan, so he's a big kid.
Oh yeah,
He's
probably got
autistic.
some meat to him.
So
hey, buddy.
We had to do this because it keeps him from kicking holes everywhere in the house.
Does he have like, he doesn't hit his head on the walls or anything like that?
No.
Okay. How about the other children then that are supposed to be in school?
Yeah, they're upstairs.
Are you able to get them down here?
Yeah.
Hey, the bubble guppies? Oh, the gate opened. You beautiful voice. I love to hear you talk. Can you tell me something else? The gate open soon? Yes? Would that make you happy? Oh, I can't wait to make you happy, buddy.
Gate open!
Hello? Gate open! I know you want the gate open, baby. We're working on that right now.
An 11-year-old autistic boy locked inside a homemade cage built directly into the living room. He was naked, surrounded by filth, with feces visible around the area and the windows boarded up. This wasn't care. This wasn't protection. This looked like imprisonment. No child should ever have to live like that, especially not in the place that is supposed to keep them safe.
Strong kids. He's
very strong.
He just turned 11, but he's super strong. Yeah, I mean, he's ripped off cabinets, kicked holes. His room upstairs, he kicked a hole all the way through into my bedroom.
Okay.
It's just
Okay.
So to keep him from destroying the house, we try to keep him in here.
He doesn't know how to unlock?
No.
Wow.
Well, on this one, we had to tie this up, and then on the other door, we have a key lock.
Okay.
So.
Because I mean, some of them are very observant. And
dude, they
smart in ways that we don't expect sometimes.
Oh, they're so sharp. Him and my daughter, they're both autistic.
So my concern as a safety officer is what happens in case of a fire.
Oh, that can be cut right there. It's just tied up. So that door opens right up.
The father tried to explain it away by saying the boy was strong, destructive, and had damaged parts of the house before. But that explanation only makes the situation even more disturbing. Because instead of finding proper help, support, or medical intervention, they built a cage, a literal enclosure, something that looked less like a bedroom and more like a jail cell. And that says everything. This child was not being treated like a son. He was being contained like a problem.
Their most autistic child, whose name is basically caged into the downstairs living area. And when I say caged, he's naked. There's feces around. It's extremely messy in the area, and windows are boarded up.
As officers stepped outside, one of them called Child Protective Services. He described the scene in full. A naked child locked behind metal bars, boarded up windows, feces on the walls and floor, no visible bed, and no direct access to a restroom. And maybe one of the most disturbing parts of all, the cage looked professionally installed, not improvised in panic, not temporary, deliberate, permanent, planned. That means this wasn't some desperate split-second decision. It was something that had been built, normalized, and lived with.
Hey, can we talk about the words you know? Yeah, the words you know. You like the gate open? Why, do you like the gate open?
Yes!
Oh. Do you like to be back here?
Go back here.
Here, in this room. Do you like this room?
Naughty.
Hey, buddy. Do you like this room? Or do you... Out? Yeah. You want the gate open? You like the gate open? Yeah. Soon. See you real soon. So guess what? Guess what? Soon, gate open. Yeah, soon, gate open.
As officers waited for emergency services, they spoke gently to the boy through the bars. And all he wanted was one simple thing, for the gate to be opened. That's it. Not toys, not food, not anything else. Just freedom. That is devastating. For an 11-year-old child, the biggest wish in that moment was simply to not be locked up anymore. Eventually, emergency responders arrived and finally opened the gate. After everything that child had endured, the moment he was taken out of that enclosure became the moment this so-called home stopped being his prison. He was placed safely onto a stretcher and taken away to be evaluated. And honestly, that moment says more than anything else in this case ever could. Because no child should feel relief from being removed from their own house. In the end, Jeffrey and Misty Scanlon were both arrested and charged. They later pleaded guilty to misdemeanor child neglect and were sentenced to probation. And for many people, that punishment will never feel like enough after seeing what that child was forced to live through. Because behind all the excuses, all the explanations, and all the claims of doing their best, one fact remains impossible to ignore. An 11-year-old boy was found locked inside a homemade jail cell in his own living room. And that is not parenting. That is horror.
You Eric?
Yes, sir. North Carolina, please.
On January 8th, 2024, in Derma, Mississippi, what was supposed to be a routine search warrant for electronic devices turned into something far more disturbing. Investigators arrived at the home expecting to collect phones, computers, and digital evidence tied to an internet crimes investigation. But the moment they stepped inside, it became clear that this case was no longer just about what was happening online. It was about what 3 small children were being forced to live through in real life.
Hey, how y'all doing? I don't know where it's at.
Inside the house, officers discovered an environment so filthy, so broken down, and so unsafe that the entire focus of the operation changed instantly. Instead of just searching for devices, law enforcement now had to deal with something much worse. 3 children trapped inside a home that was barely livable. This wasn't just messy. This was the kind of place where basic survival itself was in question.
I got paraphernalia pipe in here in the bathroom.
Yeah, and it's not mine. I can tell you that exactly.
When did you leave it over here?
About 4 weeks ago.
And you still leaving it on the counter in there where you can't?
All right, is this one your phone?
Yes.
Okay. Is this one his phone?
That one don't work.
It's just an extra phone?
Yes.
Okay.
Honestly, I've been working. I haven't touched it because I didn't want to touch it.
But you got kids around here.
Then they don't go in there because we have issues with that bathroom with the plumbing and stuff. The plumbing's backed up. They don't go in there. They stay in here and there. We mostly stay in here right now because we have issues with the heat and the air.
As deputies searched the house, they began finding drug paraphernalia and suspicious substances in places that should never have been accessible in a home with children. Pipes, foil, and crystal-like residue were discovered in the bathroom, while the adults tried to distance themselves from the items. But excuses didn't change the reality. Dangerous substances were sitting inside the same home where 3 young children were being raised. What made it even worse was that the adults openly admitted that parts of the house were unusable. The bathroom plumbing was backed up. The kitchen barely functioned. Entire sections of the home were in disrepair. These children were not living in a stable household. They were surviving inside a collapsing structure filled with hazards.
Yeah, there's a broken one right here too. So you try to smoke a light bulb, out the light bulb too. I don't remember seeing that right there. Got tin foil. Be careful. There's something in it. There it is, right there. Okay. I don't know.
Whatever works best for you, but it is cold out here too. But I am about to call CPS. I'm gonna call CPS and get them out here.
I mean, it's not livable.
Pipes in the bathroom. There's some kind of crystal-like substance in there too. She's saying it's been in there.
Collect everything. Collect everything.
She's saying it's been in there for 4 weeks.
Hey,
She didn't want to touch it, so your kids can go in there.
As Child Protective Services were called, officers began digging deeper into the situation. The more they uncovered, the clearer it became that this was not just a criminal investigation, it was a child rescue.
What's in that what's that crystal-like substance in that tinfoil in the bathroom? Be honest, because I've got a test kit. I can test it.
Okay. Well, see, now I don't know what to do. See, I don't know if I need to talk to a lawyer now or what.
Well, you don't have to answer that question then. But as far as it stands right now, you're under arrest, at least for the possession of child. And also for whatever that we find in the house. So we'll sort that out in a little bit.
Okay.
Eric Kellum, the father of the 3 children, refused to explain what officers had found in the bathroom and began hinting that he wanted a lawyer, clearly realizing the situation had already spiraled out of control.
Before we can let you take the kids to them, we have to get CPS here, and they're going to, they'll let them go with a family member. That's not going to be an issue, but we have to let them do that.
Well, can we all go down there so they're not in the cold? Or so he can at least help me with them?
Let me see. Yeah, hold on. What is he the grandfather or? Okay. Sir, let me ask you something so we can get the kids out of the cold. We're going to have CPS come over here, and she's going to let the kids go with you, but we have to let CPS make that decision. But in the meantime, are you okay if the kids go with you so we can get them out of the cold?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't chase the kids.
Okay.
You can't chase me. You want to sit in the car with my mom? Well, Mama, pop off truck.
Here, come on down here to the truck. I got her. Here, come on in here with him.
Come here.
Come on to Papa.
There you go.
All right, as soon as they get here, I'll be back with you, okay? Thank you. All right, you'll have to wait with us, though, until they get here.
No, once CPS shows up, can they go with their grandparents down there?
That's going to be between you and CPS. Okay. That's what they normally do in those circumstances, is they'll let them go with a family member. Yeah. But in the meantime, let's go back up here until we get finished with everything.
With CPS delayed, officers made the decision to keep the children temporarily with a nearby relative so they could at least get out of the cold and away from the home. Even that small detail says everything about how bad the situation was. Sitting in a relative's vehicle was safer than staying inside their own house.
This is Carolina Hebert. She's the mother. The 3 children are sitting in the truck with the grandfather right now, so they're not out, so that they're not out in the cold.
Let me get a little information from.
Sure.
So now, Dad is.
He's already been transported.
Okay, and this is the home.
Yes.
And I know it's in bad shape.
How long have y'all lived here?
We've been here about a year and a half. We've been working on it since then. We've had to replace most of the kitchen and most of the bathroom flooring. We've got to replace the bedroom back here. The ceiling's caved in. Well, the roof, not the whole thing, but the inside part of it's caved in.
We didn't lock it, did we?
No, it don't lock.
Okay, all right.
I know it's in bad shape.
Well, I can escort you through there. We still have an open search warrant.
Well, if I need to wait, I can wait.
No, that's what I said. I can escort you through here. We still have an open search warrant, so. Yes. Okay. All right. But yeah, watch your step right here. This board's flimsy.
Do they have clean clothes?
Yeah, there are 2 cats in there right now.
Do they have any clean clothes in the truck?
They're wearing clothes right now. They're clean.
They
I'm
don't.
saying they're gonna need some.
No.
Okay.
No. Just come in.
Get sizes from you when I come back.
Come in here and let me talk to you for a minute. They don't have anything clean. This is their living conditions. This is where the kids were when I came in here. They have no working bathroom. They have no working kitchen. They have nothing. Just to look around, look right there.
Oh, God. I gotta get a close-up one.
When child protection workers finally arrived and stepped inside, the full horror became impossible to ignore. They immediately saw that the children had no clean clothes, no working bathroom, no functioning kitchen, and no safe place to live. Everything about the home reflected neglect.
This is why I'm telling you, it is in no condition whatsoever for anything sustainable. Plus, there was methamphetamine in the house. And so we're going to charge her with possession of and take her to jail. I was just waiting on you to get here to work out the children before I did. We've already transported him for child and possession of.
But it wasn't of their children, was it?
No, no. Not well, I don't know yet because I still have to take everything we got from here to get it processed. And now if I find anything of their children, I'll let you know.
Okay. Do you know their?
I have not asked the ages, but they're all three very small.
Okay, so I would need to get a forensic set up for them.
I would say no.
Okay.
Well, I mean, as far as I know, I don't know if I'm charged with anything. Okay. Am I charged with anything?
You will be.
I will be? With what?
Well, there was meth in the house and the conditions of the house.
If I pass my test and everything.
Possession of meth has nothing to do with whether you test positive or negative.
And see, so that's
so even though I didn't know that was in there, I just knew the pipe was in there and it wasn't mine. But with just that charge, would that affect it just as bad?
It does. Because that's going to be neglect because the children were in the home with it. And then plus the conditions of it. Yeah, tell it, mom is being arrested as well. She's being charged with possession of. And I just sent you the pictures. I don't know if they're going to come.
I'm going to lose my job and everything.
Think personally.
I'll lose my job and my kids.
Whichever one we've been texting on.
And I don't even know.
Okay, but you're at court.
Yes.
Okay, I'm about to take y'all in the home. I've got the judge on the phone.
Okay.
I'm going to go back in. Okay.
This is Lakeisha on the phone. She's inside the home.
Yeah, that looks like home. What's wrong with it? No, that's all.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to order to get them out of that.
Hey,
okay.
Yeah, Judge, this is Deputy Baker. I'm here as well. We were conducting a search warrant here, and then I called them out here. There's something else I want to show you too. I mean, there was in the home and everything else, but I mean, look at this.
Roaches.
And that's right next to where the kids were.
Yeah,
it's not a real one.
Oh. Okay.
It's bad.
Elizabeth Herbert still seemed shocked that she was going to be charged. Instead of focusing on what her children had been forced to endure, she seemed more worried about losing her job. That says everything. Even in that moment, she appeared more concerned about the consequences for herself than the horrifying conditions her children had been living in. Elizabeth would also be taken away, leaving behind one final painful goodbye to the kids.
They're taking the kids to look at getting placed either with my dad, and if my dad can't take them, and if you can't take them, they're got to go somewhere else. I know you can't, okay? That's why I said try my dad first.
I can't walk. I can't chase them. There's going to be an investigation, and they start right there, too.
If you're going to get loud.
Sorry.
Okay.
My heart is breaking.
I understand, but we've been investigating this for several days now. I have a lot of information on this case, and there's a lot of details in this case.
Those are my grandbabies. I see them every day. And they do take care of them, and they feed them, and we do too.
Have you seen in that house?
Yes, but I can't walk, and she works, and it's hard when you got 3 kids and you ain't got no help to do some things.
Well, I mean, I know.
And they are poor. I mean, we all ain't got money.
I know, but even if you don't have money, you can keep up the conditions of your house a little bit.
Both adults now faced serious charges, not only because of the drugs and digital evidence, but because of the condition those children had been forced to endure. Poverty may explain struggle, but it does not excuse this. There is a difference between being poor and forcing children to live in filth, danger, and total instability. In the end, Eric Kellum was convicted and sentenced to 15 years in prison for possession of child sexual abuse material, drug possession, and multiple counts of child neglect. Elizabeth Herbert also faced charges, while the 3 children were placed into state custody and given medical and psychological evaluations. And behind all of the criminal charges, the digital evidence, and the courtroom process, one truth remains the most disturbing of all. 3 children were living in conditions so vile that a search for devices became a rescue mission. Now that was all for today, folks. If you enjoyed the video, click to see more on the video on screen.